Welcome, everybody. Tonight we're going to go over credit recovery and some of the options that are out there and explain a little bit about what it is. We're just trying to find our way to the finish line after we just maybe took a little detour, but hopefully we can get there and get to where we want to be in 2023. We're going to go over the agenda for tonight. First, we're going to talk about what is credit recovery. Secondly, we want to do why do I need it? Then we'll look at the types of credit recovery we can do and talk about how you can get started. And at the end, if there are any questions, certainly we'll address those and hopefully give you a little bit of clarity and guidance on where we go when we have failed a class. Now, I really appreciated and love this quote because I know often when students fail a class or fail more than one class, they can get really bogged down in that and think, well, I'm already behind, I'm never going to catch up. But Truman Capote said, failure is the condiment that gives success to its flavor. And that simply just means that a lot of people have failures. Those failures can look different in how they are, whether it's failing a class, failing at something that you wanted to do, but those are learning experiences. And that's what we're going to do because we want to just go ahead and focus on flavoring that success and crossing that graduation stage in 2023. So first, we're going to look at what is credit recovery. It's an opportunity to earn credit for your required classes that you have taken previously, but you failed. You did not get that passing grade to earn that credit. And it's imperative that we begin that sooner than later because time flies when we're having fun in high school. You may think, well, why do I need credit recovery? Or as a parent, why do they have to go back and retake classes? Can't they just take more classes? Well, you need 22 credits to graduate, and those are very specific credits that you have to complete in order to receive your diploma. And this is in conjunction with the pathway requirements, which is all about that competency and career readiness that we talked about a few months ago when we talked about the whole credit requirement. So if you want to graduate and you want to begin the next phase of your journey, we're going to talk about some ways that we do need to do that. To give you a little bit of a place to kind of work from to see why and how it is important to start working on recovering credits now. As you see, I have that little arrow slide just to look at freshman to junior year to get to that junior status. When these current students of 2023 entered high school in 2019 of August, they may have brought a couple of credits that were high school level from 8th grade, PE, sometimes music, some of the electives, Spanish they might have. But in general, a lot of people are starting with a fresh, clean slate. So at the end of their 9th grade year in June 2020, optimally, they needed to have at least 5 total credits in order to move to 10th grade status. And it's not even just easy as 5 credits. You had to have some specific ones as well. 4 of those 5, 2 had to be your English and math credit, and then you had to have 2 more that came from the required curriculum. So in order to move up to that level, you had to meet those requirements. When you came into this year, this wonderful pandemic year, as a sophomore, 10th grader, you would have earned definitely those 5+ credits to be a sophomore. And during this year now, we're focusing on, and you'll notice a trend here, we're focusing on getting at least 5 more credits. And out of those credits, at the end of the year, you're going to need 10 total credits to become a junior. Out of those 10, you must have your 2 math credits, your 2 English credits, and then 4 credits from required curriculum. Now, just to let you know, required curriculum includes the core classes, so your English, math, science, and social studies. It also includes health PE, a technology credit, and also the academic electives. So those are the things that meet that required curriculum piece. Then the others can be regular electives. So at the end of this year, your sophomore year, you want to end the year with at least 10 total credits. And again, having passed your 2 math classes, your 2 English classes, and at least 4 other courses from required curriculum. If you do that, you get to be an 11th grader. And then as we come into August 2021, you're going to be ready to go and focusing. And you can probably guess that in order to become a senior, you're going to have to earn 5 more credits. And that English and math is always the required credits that you have to have, and then required curriculum. So this is kind of just to give you that base of why credit recovery is so important. So I want to leave you with 3 important facts from that. Remember also that we're thinking certain courses require that you have to pass one before you can move on, like math. Courses such as history, you may not have gotten your world history credit, but you could still move on and take your American history. That's not so in math. If you don't pass Math 1 or Algebra 1, you can't move on to that next math level that would come right after that. I also can tell you that almost every senior that I have ever worked with who went into their senior year being credit deficient, meaning that they did not have the necessary credits that they should have to be a senior, they wish that they had made up their courses earlier, because it set up a very stressful year for them to have to work on making those courses up, getting the courses that they would naturally take their senior year, plus also them focusing on their pathway requirements. And lastly, remember, we are here to support you. So ask for help. You can always come to me and ask. You can ask Ms. Gittens, our admin for the level, any of your teachers. Don't let things pile up. Excuse me. And for anyone that's just joining us, we are recording, so I will have a recording of the entire presentation that I can send out to the class, so you will be able to see the entire thing. Now we're going to look at types of credit recovery. What we're going to touch on just a little bit tonight is the traditional credit recovery process, and that is currently going to be offered on Apex, an online platform, versus something that we're experimenting with this year at Northland, although it's been done in other ways in previous years at multiple high schools, but doing credit flex assignments for grade improvement. Now, which one works for you? Well, when we talk about traditional credit recovery, so I'm going to refer to it as Apex credit recovery, if you failed a class, you can retake that class through the online learning platform Apex. Now, the good thing in a way about this year that we have semester classes, if you failed that first part, that X, we'll just say you failed American History X, you would only have to take that part of the course. So you're currently doing American History Y. If you pass it, you don't have to retake it. You just got to take that one part. Whereas in previous years, our classes were year long. So no matter, if you failed the entire class, you had to take that entire class over. Now, do realize that the course is completely virtual and self-paced. So there's not going to be someone over your shoulder getting you going, keeping you on task about it. You will have opportunities for some support, from teachers, but for the most part, the student has to be motivated and able to work independently and then seek out help when they need it. The student will be working on the course in addition to their currently scheduled classes. The student also may be able to get parts of the course exempted by taking the pre-test and doing well on them. This does speed up the timeline for completing the course.
Okay, go.
Okay, there we go. So that is a thing that a lot of students don't take into consideration, that they just blow through the pre-test thinking they don't mean a lot. when it really means that you should take time to actually do those and answer them to the best of your ability, because it could mean less work overall for you. Now, if you think that this is something that would be the best thing for you to do, because you can get started fairly quickly in it, you can request to sign up for courses through this Google Forms link. And I realize you might not be able to get this all jotted down. So please know I will also be sending this out through the Infinite Campus portal. So that link will be available. And I'll also send it on Remind for anyone to access. And after I receive your request, I will verify the course that you requested. And then it starts the actual application process. It goes to our credit recovery coordinator, who enters the request into the CCS application. Then it automatically, I have to go in and I have to approve it. If your student has an IEP, the special education services will have to review, and then it goes to the principal who approves it. And then finally, it will show up in the IC parent portal for the parent to sign off and approve it. Now, I know that seems like a lot of approvals, and it is, but it can go very quickly because it's all computer generated and it doesn't take that long to do the approval process. Now, the second thing that is going to be available, however, as I have noted there, the Credit Flex grade improvement. The process of all of this has not been finalized yet. We have a target date of starting February 22nd. And so I will keep you posted as we get to that rollout and how you sign up. This option will also utilize the Apex platform, but it's a different program that Northland High School has purchased, and our staff and teachers will facilitate those Credit Flex assignments through Apex. So there'll be, something like, subject teacher teams that can assign the Credit Flex assignments to a student to complete. And then once those are completed and a passing grade is obtained, then the student will be able to receive credit for the failed course. The student will not be able to receive a final grade higher than a D, though. So, if you're looking to get an overall better grade, not only pass it, but get a better grade higher than a D, then doing the traditional Apex credit recovery would probably be the better option. However, this will be more targeted to the teachers identifying what assignments they really needed the student to complete and know that they have the knowledge of to do it. So it could be much shorter and much easier to get the credit. But again, the highest grade is going to be just that passing grade of a D for it. Now, in that, with the grade improvement, as I said, we will have a sign-up procedure for that when we implement it. It will probably be a Google form type thing, just like the traditional. But as of right now, it's still a little bit of a work in progress because teachers have to be officially boarded in order to offer the service. And then we have to get everything set up in the sign-up process. So believe me, I will send out the information for sign-ups the minute we have things finalized and we've decided within our cohort of 2023 how we want to do the sign-up process and the assignments. So it will be a very good opportunity for a lot of students to do, but you just kind of have to see and weigh the pros and cons to it. They both are going to take a lot of ability to work independently because, again, you're still taking your regular classes you have on your schedule. However, I think probably the first credit recovery option, the traditional, definitely takes a lot more focus and being responsible and motivated. This also needs you to be focused and be motivated, but since it's so much less work overall, I think sometimes kids can see the finish line a little bit quicker and clearer with that, but you have to do what works best for your student and yourself as a parent. So to recap, we were talking about if you failed and if the student has failed any courses required for graduation, speak with your counselor about credit recovery. For the class of 2023, that is me, Mrs. White, and I'll have my information at the end slide. Don't put it off. 2023 will be here before you know it. I can't believe it's 2021 already. You, as sophomores, have almost completed half of your high school career by the time we get to the end of May. Be ready to commit to completing the needed courses. I can't make you do it. Miss Giddens can't make you do it. Your teachers can't make you do it. Even your parents can't make you do it. You have to do it. You have to be the one that's willing to put in the work, and then we can provide that support. We can nag you and we can stay on your case, but ultimately you do have to be the one that finishes that. Remember that Mrs. White is here for you. I am. And finally, just breathe. You know, it can be a lot of overwhelming work, but you just have to breathe. So this is my contact information. You can always contact me with any questions. My email, I usually very responsive with email, and my Google Voice number is there, 614-664-3215. You can text or call and leave a message, you know, during normal school hours, and if I'm available, I'll answer that if I'm working remotely, or you can text me and I respond to that. So at this time, I am going to open it up because I think we have a couple people that joined us for any questions that there might be. If you want to, actually, you can just come off of your, you can just speak out if you have any questions. I can quit coughing. Okay, well, if no one has any questions at this point.
The second option that you proposed, you said that
ahead.
you're going to provide additional details later for how to sign up on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because right now our target date is to start at around the 22nd. So as soon as we have that, I knew I should have brought a glass of water with me. As soon as we have that information, I'll send it out through the portal.
Okay. Okay.
So Ms. White, can you go back to the slide that has the matriculation credits that they should have in each
Yes.
grade level for those who join? So I know the question comes up frequently about why the student isn't with their cohort.
Yeah.
Like they may actually be 10th grade cohort, but it shows 9th grade. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just as the refresher on that, for this year, any student who is a class of 2023 cohort, if they have a 9th grade level, what that means is that last year, either they didn't earn a total of 5 credits, or if they did earn 5 or even higher, they're missing either, it could be an English, a math, because those will automatically keep you retained with a 9th grade label if you don't earn both of those credits. Or they're missing one of the 4 for required curriculum. So it's one of those required classes that usually will hold them back. Most of the time, it's English or math that hold them. But that's just the thing to remember. Every year, you have to get that English and math. They are the 2 most important. They're all important, but those 2 will keep you at a grade level if you don't earn them.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if there are no other questions for tonight, I do appreciate those of you that were able to tune in. I am going to send this link out, and then I will send out updated information for signups as soon as we have them. So thank you all, and good night.